Mandalorian, the season finale. To that, I guess I gotta say, a lot of season finales, a lot of times when it's over, and they have to tell you the conclusion of that entire season's show, their story. A lot of times they miss, but this show nailed it. Wow, they nailed it. There was so much good stuff here. They wrapped up the season. Plus, they gave birth to some more stuff. The writers are incredible. The actors are incredible too. Don't get me wrong, the actors are incredible, but the writers, wow. I don't know what they're getting paid, but they probably deserve more. Pedro Pascal and the incredible Giancarlo Esposito, man. So Mando wants to get the kid. Be advised, there are spoilers on their way. Spoilers are coming, man. Don't say I didn't told you, because I told you. And here they come. Mando has to get with a team, his cosmic Avengers, so that he can go get the baby. He gets, the one sheriff, and he gets the sharpshooter and Boba Fett, and he actually gets the Mandalorians that he met a couple of shows back. They don't mix well, because they know that Boba, or they think that Boba is not pure Mandalorian. He's not a Mandalorian. And they recognize his voice. Now remember, his father was cloned to make all of the stormtroopers, and his father was like, "I want one for me," in the series, and that was the one he raised on his own. So Boba Fett is technically the first clone of the Clone Wars, but he's also, probably the most popular, maybe not the most popular today, but probably the most popular normally of all of the Mandalorians. Definitely one of the most popular of all of the Star Wars canon. Boba Fett, man. But they recognize his voice, so they know that he's a clone. So they they have problems with that, man. So it turns into a skirmish. It was actually a pretty good fight. Sasha Banks' character fights him essentially in the first couple of minutes to a standstill, so it makes you assume that she's as tough as he is. I don't know about that, but they had a pretty good fight. So now they've got to storm Moff Gideon's ship. So they storm it, they break in, and they are slaughtering everybody. Stormtroopers are just basically made so that they can take a beating. That's the only thing they do. I mean, when's the last time you see a bunch of stormtroopers run and beat somebody down and say, "Yeah, we got him"? They're like an inferior version of Boba Fett, because Boba Fett is a beast. But the regular stormtroopers are like, maybe not so much. So, okay. So for the most part, stormtroopers suck, but there's a lot of them. So, I guess you get your money's worth. A dime a dozen or something like that. But Moff Gideon's like, okay, they're coming. So he releases his black guard, and they go out. They're like robots, Terminators, a bunch of Terminators, space Terminators from the future. Or I guess Star Wars is the past. So from the past, wherever they're from, they're dangerous. So there's a bunch of them. And Mando ends up fighting one, I guess so they can let you know how dangerous they are. And he gets the business. He doesn't die, of course. He's the guy. He's the show. He's the runner of the show. So he doesn't die, but he does catch a beating. But that's just to show you how dangerous one of them is. And there's like a whole platoon of them. So they're like, man, we can't deal with them. But he finds a way to get rid of them, to stall them for a while. They break into the room that Moff Gideon is hiding in, And they're like, all right, man, okay, give up the child. And he's like, all right, you can have the child. You can have him. I don't want to fight you. Take the child. It's subterfuge because he's a sneaky guy. So they end up fighting. It looks like the black blade can't pierce Mandalorian armor if it's pure. And they say that specifically because somebody in Mandalorian armor, I think, is going to die from that blade. Then, and the spear that's supposed to be pure Mandalorian armor, it heated up, but it didn't break. But in time, that probably would have broke. So, they do this whole thing, this whole fight. He beats him, brings him back, gives him to the girl. Then he finds out, man, that she can't become the leader of the Mandalorians without the symbol, the blade. The only way she can properly have the blade is to win it in combat. Mando took it from Moff. So he's like, well, go and take it. You can have it. I don't want it. I don't want to be the leader. And she's like, and Moff is giving him grief. He's like, nah, man, she got to beat you in combat, man. Y'all got to fight for it. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I yield. You win. Take the blade. And she's just standing there. And he's like, no, got to be a fight. Nope, got to be a fight. Or else she knows that she's like the paper champion. So she just kind of stands there. And while they're debating, the black guard shows up again and they're banging through the door. So Moff is like, okay, well, I'm the only one that's going to survive this. Me and the child, because I'm going to keep him. You guys know all the rest of y'all are dead. Honestly, if I knew for sure I was going to die, I'd have laser blasted him in the face or stuck him with that sword or something. If I'm going, you're going too. You ain't going to be talking about this tomorrow over lunch with your friends. Nope. If I'm going, you're going. But they're all standing around and they pull their weapons out and they're waiting for the guard to come through. And then at the side, in the mirror, somebody says, hey, it's X-Wing fighter. And it comes up and it's like, yeah, but it's only got one guy. A guy comes out. He's got a long cloak with a hood. So you're like, okay, all right. This might be one of them there Jedi, maybe. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm watching and I'm thinking about all of the Jedi. From the comic books, from the cartoon, from the movies. Who could it be? And to be honest, I had four names in mind. But there's a quick flash of the person's chin. So one of them was gone. One of them was gone. And then this Jedi decimated the Black Guard. Destroyed all of them. So I'm like, okay, well, this person must be skilled and powerful. And the reveal, you know what? I said it's going to be a spoiler, but I'm going to keep that part. I'll let you check it out. The reveal was incredible when they showed who this particular Jedi was. I haven't, it's been a long time that I've been watching a TV show and I've stood up and went, ah, and screamed. I screamed. I screamed like a man, but I screamed. And I was like, oh my God, oh my goodness, oh my God. It was great. This is incredible storytelling. That's essentially the end. To give the child to the Jedi, the child and the Jedi leave. You got to figure there's going to be more to the story than just that. But I don't really see anybody taking the child from this Jedi. So I don't know why they're going to meet again, but I assume that they will. Then the credits roll. Now remember, this is Star Wars. Star Wars is now owned by Disney, who also owns Marvel. So at the end of all of the Marvel shows, almost all of them, after the credits run, you get a little snippet, a little Easter egg to tell you what's to come, or an explanation of something that's happened. Man, wow. There was a big reveal in this one. Stay till the credits are over, man, because there's a thing that happens. Yeah, you know what I said? I was going to say, I'm about to reveal the final credit scene. So if you don't want to know, this is the last thing I'm going to do. So this is the end of the video for you. If you want to know, then and come aboard. Boba Fett was last seen in the movies when he fell into the pit doing work for Jabba. Jabba's dead, but one of his people takes over. So Boba goes back there after he's done his deal with Mando. He goes back there and he whacks everybody. He shoots everybody. And he sits on the throne. And the girl, the sharpshooter, I think her name is Finney, she sits next to him on the throne. All Star Wars Princess Leia style. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So he's taken over the crime syndicate? And then it fades to black and says, Book of Boba Fett. And I'm like, whoa, he's got his own show. Of course we know he's got his own show. They said it last week. But he's got his own show. Oh, that's going to be so good. This was so good. And there's so many spinoffs now. They got so many good ideas. If they are all nearly as good as this, wow, Disney's got, they're the new hit factory. This is incredible. I think it's incredible, you know, but seriously, that's what I think. If I were to give this a rating, and I am, I would say that this show, long live the king, I would say that this show gets 9 bags of popcorn. Now, I almost said 8, but it pulls me in. 9 bags of popcorn, man. And that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? Have you seen all of the episodes of Mandalorian? Are you a Star Wars fan? Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.